Here we go. Yeah. It's time to listen up because the show's about to get you right. Settle in cause you be tuning into what jujitsu life. Getting to the nitty and gritty of what the game's about. What it's really like when you get paid to fight and train for bouts. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it on louder. About to drop some knowledge, yo, it's Drew Dominguez, Shawn, Fowler. About to give it to you straight, y'all, no filler. Pulling no punches, really couldn't get no realer. I'm a flow spiller, recognize that no one's illa. Keep it locked right on this episode because it's gonna be killer. Elite technique with the flows to get you hyped. I thought you knew with Shawn and Drew, the crew of a jiu-jitsu life.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy Shawn Fowler, Five Grappling. We are in the FIVE365 studios today, shooting a jiu-jitsu live, and I am here with my co-host Drew Dominguez.
What's going on, everybody?
Not too much, and we're in the house with the better black belt Victor Hugo, the best dressed. So what's good? What's up, man? How are you?
Man, great. I think I would say best time of my life.
I would say so too, man. You've been on a tear lately. You're winning everything. So let's talk about a couple of things. Okay, so he better black belt, and you came here as a brown belt. Actually, whenever you first came here, you were a purple belt. I actually just thought about that. I just remember that. Yeah, and I remember you competing at a couple of events, and then now you've been here for how long?
First time I got here was 2016. It's gonna be about 4 years now, right?
Living here permanent, like 3 to 4, right?
Yeah, I think in my first year I was like in the thing back and forth, but I always like was spending like 3 months, 6 months here.
Right.
So I would say about 4 years.
How was the transition? So you being in Brazil for so long, how has life changed for you after leaving Brazil and coming here permanently? Because obviously coming here you have a lot more opportunities, right? How has life changed for you since being in Brazil to coming here?
I think it has a lot to do on what you really want, because that things like family is there, that changed a lot. Even though I was a kid when I first moved here, I was like 19, 18. I used to live with my parents still. And you used to live with your mom and everything, and boom, in the other country, you don't have any family. Of course, I have a lot of friends, but like you start to miss family. So I think you really gotta commit to what you want, and that's what I did. I didn't know English. I didn't know any English. I started to struggle, and I went to school for one day. That's it. I rather go to jiu-jitsu, and that's how I learned English though. I went to the academy every day, just listening, trying to listen music. That's how I learned English, and like commitment. And in the beginning, like it requires a lot of commitment and discipline, and you gotta miss family and everything. You're in another country, other culture, but I think I just embraced it. I had like how to say, they received me very well here.
Right.
Friends, everybody in the gym, and I mean like it was like everything passed like so fast. I was just like struggling, like hustling, and things are getting better and better, and now I am like one of the top 10 black belts in the world.
Yeah, when you left, you said you were still living at home in Brazil.
Yes.
What did you miss when you lived here? Did you ever think about going home and saying, "I can't do this. I want to go home"?
Why did I miss? To be honest, my mom, because she used to watch she used to watch all my geese, and like
I like that. That's
dry. The struggle. You
Right.
train like 3 times a day. It's like 3 geese. If you go have class, there's one geese, 4 geese. Man, the beginning was a struggle.
What about the food? What about food and cooking?
Oh yeah, another thing. I learned to cook how like myself. I knew a little bit. My mom taught me a little bit, but like I never put in practice because your mom never let you to cook. She always cooking. So yeah, I had to deal with this stuff. Like I had to grow up like here, like become a man here, far away from home. Like learning from each people, like different people, my friends, my senseis. They taught me a lot. Pretty much.
Do you feel? I'm sorry. Do you feel pressure representing such legends in the sport?
Well, now not anymore because I started like feel that I'm representing well. Doesn't matter what happens, they all give me a lot of confidence. you know, like they always used to say me, hey man, doesn't matter if you lost or not. You already like means a lot for us just to have you here, and that was like would really relieve me, you know. In the beginning, I felt like I had more pressure, you know, like purple belt, brown belt, maybe. Oh, I have to win this, I have to win that. Right now, I'm just like learning and be on my flow, you know. No pressure, but a lot of honor just to represent the name.
But you can see watching you when you compete. Your facial expression, you have no facial expression. It seems like you're just like another day at the office. No matter what, no matter you're on top, you're on bottom. It's a scramble. You just still have that same
Demeanor,
look,
same demeanor, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me that. Yeah,
Well, that's just confidence. That's your level of confidence. You're very confident in what you're doing. You're not stressed, even in the worst situations. Truth is that you, whenever you train, and obviously I trained with Saulo and Xande my whole entire career. You put yourself in the worst places ever, so you're always going to feel comfortable. You know, claustrophobia is a very serious thing. Like a lot of people freak out whenever they first start training.
yes.
And whenever you're getting smothered every single day and getting murdered every single day in class, and you put yourself in the worst positions and, you know, the worst dynamic positions, and you can still protect yourself, there's no other way to but not to feel confident. You know what I mean? Especially after years and years in doing it.
Yeah, I think like you get in a position that's the baddest that can be. Nobody can put me in like in a position worse than that. Doesn't mean the worst of the worst.
Right. I agree.
Like tired and the guy's grinding you. So it's hard. I like it's hard to be in that situation in the tournament. You know, I don't think we ever get that tired and like that smash in a tournament if you daily deal with the situation.
Right. You're training like that daily.
Also your mind.
You've had your black belt with 9 months, 8 months.
Yeah, in August.
Been almost a year, yeah.
afterwards,
And your first competition at black belt was ADCC.
No, I competed in Russia first, Leslie, Moscow.
How did you feel about your performance at ADCC?
Well, wasn't my best performance, you know. Before DCC, I used to fight Words No Gi, but to be honest, until Words No Gi and everything, I used to train No Gi on Fridays. You know,
Oh wow.
Well, but and truth be told, right, the rule set's totally different, right? So if you don't know the rule set of ADCC, like a lot of people go in there thinking, okay, you know what, let's just go do this. We're gonna go do it because we're gonna go do it. And the first round, like the first run of it, like it's a learning experience, right? Like you know, you do trials, you try trials, and you're like, okay, that was cool, but okay, now I understand like what's gonna happen at Worlds. You know what I mean? And you know, you now have a no-gi world title, right? So you came back and you won Worlds in no-gi. So now you owe us a gi one, right? So you owe us Worlds this year.
Yes. And also, I just have about DCC. It brought me a lot of knowledge, you know.
Right,
Like,
that's what I mean.
and I kind of embraced the no-gi, like, after it. I start to like it even more. Like, when I first started to train in DCC, for DCC, man, somebody will get my heel, I don't know what to do.
Right.
The angles, the setups, and everything. After that, I started, like, studying, you know, and practicing even more, and I felt like it brought a lot from my jiu-jitsu. Even more on my last fight. If you saw the way Nicholas tried to sweep me, I mostly defend his sweep like using wrestling counter.
Right.
With the leg.
Right.
So there was no gi. I actually using no gi on my gi match. So I think it like helped me a lot, you know.
And I also your 50-50, you played with the feet the whole time while you're on the 50-50. So
Exactly.
that's you know what I mean. And your transition, like you weren't freaking out and trying to elevate to come to the top. You were letting him do all the work there while you were playing with the feet. You know what I mean, going for the toe holds and stuff like that. So I think dynamically, and you have one of the best to do it. I mean, Xande's been there how many times? You know what I mean? Not to mention Saulo's been there. You know what I mean? So both of them have competed at ADCC, and you know you're one of the ones to really carry the torch. You know what I mean? From youth to older, and you know you still have a long career ahead of you, man. You're still young. You got a lot of years ahead of you to compete at all levels. So, I mean, I'm really excited to see what the future holds for you.
Let's talk about the Nicky Ryan fight. How did you feel going into that? Were you worried about your feet? Were you worried about your ankles? What was your game plan going into that?
I was more worried about, like, not worried, but I knew everybody knows he's a great wrestler, you know. He likes to play rough. But talking about jiu-jitsu wise, like transition, everything, I didn't feel like worried about it. I pulled guard right away. You know, even though on my no-gi World Championship, I tried to play like more wrestling stuff, but with Nick Rod, I didn't want to play wrestling with him because if it happened like to me to take me down, I think he would like. If you saw the match, I tried to engage the whole match. He was like keep the distance. So I thought like if he ever maybe took me down in the match, it would be even worse. He would engage for nothing. You know what I mean? So I think my strategy was try to pull guard, try to engage, go for leg locks, and then maybe scramble on top. That's what I thought try to do. And I wasn't worried about like jiu-jitsu wise, you know, like I feel really good on my guard. Um, and I think if we could engage more in the match, I think it would be more interesting. Because we were both big dogs, we stood a lot the match, and yeah.
Why do you think you think he didn't want to engage with you?
Yeah, I think his strategy was kind of not engaged. Like he was trying to pass outside, which is kind of fancy. Maybe people outside will see like he's doing cartwheel around me and see like, oh, the guy's trying, but not even trying. Like he was keeping the distance. He tried to engage. I did some attacks. Well, whenever I wrapped the leg, he would kick away. You know, I'm not. I don't blame him like to do engage because I could go on feet and try to like take him down. Not, but I think we both are staying in like comfort zones. You know. But we will face each other soon. Probably ADCC. We start standing, you know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to fighting again. Actually, that was a match that in Brazil we say like you thirsty for more. It was like a
Right.
match.
Well,
You know?
it elevates your game, right?
Mhm.
It opens your eyes to something new because he did something to you that you hadn't had done before. You know what I mean? And of course, you go back home and you go, wait a minute. I can't believe that just happened to me. Like, I need to figure out how to fix that problem, right?
Exactly.
And then you come back 10 times stronger based off of that situation. So
Yes.
I agree with you 100%.
And he's a guy like I really like to see fighting. He moves so well for a big guy, and I think his game. Like if any guy in jiu-jitsu start to play his game in gi is like actually hard. Like wrestling transitions, I think is very important. Like because today, if you see a lot of positions double, single leg or double leg. So if you're not good wrestling, you're not gonna be able to finish your transition. So I think the thing that he brought to jiu-jitsu like really interesting, you know, like
Right.
and everything.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize this, but um, ADCC is a ton of wrestling, right? It really, really is. Like, it's some of that. Like, how do you think Ricardo Arona was undefeated there? You know, for so many years because he was a hardcore wrestler. He was really super aggressive and a hardcore wrestler. You know what I mean? And so many guys train wrestling so hard and sambo, right? Wrestling and sambo so hard during that time just so they can be the best that they can be for ADCC itself.
Yeah, definitely. And the two things that he's good, right? Like wrestling and taking backs, cause everything like also in the ADCC, we end up a lot in the back.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think there's two major things you gotta. Everybody works and you know gotta work for ADCC.
With your transition to the U.S. and basically sleeping on the couch and stuff like that, how do you now that you've been here some time, you've gained some credibility, some validity, and you're really like honestly you're on top of the world right now. You've done some amazing things, you've won some amazing things. I mean, you still the sky's the limit for you at this point, but right now you've really adapted and acclimated to the U.S. Where do you see your future? Are you going to stay here? Are you going to continue to live here? Or do you think you'll go back to Brazil and live soon? Or do you think you'll stay here for a while and then open up your own academy whenever time's up, whenever you're tired of competing, you know, type thing, or what?
Yes, I'm. You know, I don't see myself going back to Brazil for leave or like even open business. You know, doing the actual situation. It's really hard. Even more with jiu-jitsu, you know. I know I'm not saying that you can't be successful in Brazil with jiu-jitsu, but you'll be way harder. I just think about like maybe more connections here. I have like three amazing persons in my life here: Xande, Lovato, Saulo.
Of course.
You know, and
that was the one thing I always appreciated. Saulo had all the big guys, man. He has all the big guys.
Yeah.
Even Moose, everybody. He always had all the big guys.
Oh, yeah. So I just think about like staying here because you know like I feel like here is where I'm gonna reach my peak in competition wise. You know, having them by my side, and like I'll have the hardest training, and maybe give the opportunity to other kids like me back in purple belt. You know, one day.
Right.
Whenever I can run an academy, bring it somebody like and give them the opportunity that was given to me. I think that's the big thing in life. Like
Passing
you
the
repass.
torch,
Yeah.
passing the torch and reciprocating, right?
Yeah. Give it a chance to another person, you know, another dream, and yeah.
You know, growing up in Brazil, I read you weren't very athletic as a kid.
Yeah, I was not. I was a blame. I was ashamed in sports, even though I love sports, you know. But yeah, soccer. I like to play soccer, but I mostly would go to soccer to try to tackle the kids.
And you got it. If I remember correct, the reason you got into jiu-jitsu was because of your father.
Yes.
Does your father still train?
Yes, he's a brown belt now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but he stopped it for a year when we first started, and he came back and he fought at Brazilian Nationals last year. He got third place. I'm
That's
looking
awesome.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I'm
How does he feel about your accomplishments?
Oh, he feel great, you know, like so proud of like between his friends because it's kind of a, I would say I'm not like being bragging about it, but it's a dream of a dad.
Oh yeah, of course.
See his
See your
son
son up in lights and stuff.
out of the country, you know, like, and I'm really, and that's why it motivates me, you know, give him proud, my dad, like my mom, and you know, and also he's very into competition wise and everything. He watched all my matches, and
Have you had an opportunity to compete with them at the same event?
yeah, back in time, not Brazilian Nationals.
Okay,
Yeah,
Nice.
I won double gold and he got third.
that's awesome.
It was like 3 years he didn't see me fighting. So
That makes the connection between you and your dad amazing, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's a totally like it's one of the best bonds in the entire world. I tell people all the time, like if you're a family that train together, your bond is going to be so much tighter than so many other
Oh
people.
yes, and that's the great thing about jiu-jitsu. I think everybody can do jiu-jitsu. You know, finding like a right structure, a good academy. You know, like where they're gonna have like a good environment. I think everybody can train jiu-jitsu as
Right.
long as you don't have like any health thing like that's gonna not gonna let you do that. But you know, like I think jiu-jitsu for everyone, so it's like a family thing. It's amazing.
Has your father came down here to see you, San Diego?
No, that's my plan for this year, having him here to compete towards Master.
That's
Oh, wow.
awesome.
Okay.
August, it's right around the corner too. That's really
Yes,
cool.
Yes. Yeah, and also I have more people. When I first started to jiu-jitsu when I was a kid, I started to do little competitions back at home, and then my cousin got into it. He's a blue belt European champion. He got second awards
pretty
last
awesome.
year. I had a girl like my cousin. She's also a brown belt today, but she's not competing anymore. But she's a brown belt. I brought a lot of my family, like parents, to jiu-jitsu. You know? So it's good.
I like it.
So everybody, obviously, everybody back home probably must look up to you because you're out in another country. You're successful. You're a star. Your name's up in life. Are there any people that you train with that you see that can be a future star just like yourself?
Well, the people that I used to, I see my cousin. Yeah, he probably would be like we started training together. Like he was a little kid, like 12. Today he's getting bigger and good, you know, and better. I think having him on my side, he probably will be like a big thing,
How
color
big is he?
belt. He's heavyweight, and you know, like we've been working on him. It's like I can't wait to see him compete at Worlds this year in Pan Am's. I think he's gonna do great.
You've beat in the past in the past 3 months. You beat three of the big names in jiu-jitsu: Merigali, Nick Rodriguez, Cyborg. Who do you want to fight next?
I don't like to choose a exactly person, you know, but I see myself like I haven't fought like João Gabriel. I think I gotta be ready for this fight. It's
He's
gonna
a big
happen.
boy. Yeah, he's a big boy.
Big man, you know. Today, I would say I am in third place on my division in the rank. Buchecha is the first one. Joe is the second. I'm the third. So probably they are the guys like I'm getting ready to fight. You know, absolutely I think gotta be ready to fight anyone. Like and I train with like Xande, Lovato. They're all like they have amazing jiu-jitsu. And I think the matchup that I'm looking forward like to have for real is like João Gabriel and Buchecha again on Gi. I think
Right.
that's the one I'm getting ready to. Because I never fought João. He's a big guy as me. So you know, when I fought Buchecha me, also he's a big guy. So you know like it's like I'm fighting myself. But, like,
That's
Okay,
you know, like
Nogi.
big guy.
Who would you want to fight Nogi? Or who do you think out there that you would like to compete with?
I would like to fight Nick Rodriguez again. Though. I think it would be a great fight. And eventually in absolute life, I don't know. I can face like all the guys. I haven't fought many guys yet, no gi. But yeah, I don't know. Nick Rodriguez, I think would be a good matchup again.
I have to ask, what about Gordon Ryan? I saw you on one of his posts. I asked the question because I saw you on one of the posts on Instagram. He said something. He posted something, and you said he hasn't fought you yet.
Yeah, we're just joking around. Yeah, I would love to fight Gordon. You know what I mean? He's he proved. I like what he did because he proved what he said. He backed it up.
Right. He believes in himself 100%. That's
he's
the
not
one.
full-
That's the one of the most.
He's not full of shit. Everything he said, he backed it up, and he has amazing jiu-jitsu. He knows. I see like he's not that guy that he always say on Instagram and everything like he's not the guy like he's looking for fight for advantage. Like he's always like systematically going for submission, and he's a guy. And I found he's very smart and he has a good jiu-jitsu. So I think it would be a good matchup, me and him. Definitely looking forward to fighting someday. If that happens.
Out of all your titles that you have currently, outside of your black belt, no-gi world champion, right?
Uh-huh.
What is your most prestigious one that you remember the most, that had the most influence on everything that you're doing?
I think I wouldn't say one title, but the whole thing that I did a brown belt, because it was really hard thing. Like not hard, but it's difficult to make what I did, which was the double Grand Slam as brown belt.
Right.
Because
True.
everything can happen. You can get sick, not fight the tournament. So it was like 4 tournaments, and I won them all like weight, division, and absolute. I was hurt, I had some injuries, but I went through and I won. So I think it was
Okay.
in one match specifically in Brazil, it was like that match was was fire. Like I was losing, I think I was tired, and I was losing by like 2 points if I'm not wrong. And if I had that silver on my absolute the whole year, my plan for the whole year was a double Grand Slam because I already had like silver and gold in the absolute in the past year. And I think what the last 4 seconds, everybody screaming, and I set up a triangle. They got tapped like in the last 15 seconds. That was like I think was one of my best matches last year.
Are you doing any seminars yet? Are you traveling around doing seminars or not really yet?
No, yet. Right now my schedule is pretty busy. I had a lot of work to do here in San Diego, teaching class, getting ready for tournaments. But as this year we don't have EDC, I will dedicate myself in the past like 6 months to maybe do some super fights. But I'm sure I'm gonna do more seminars around the world.
What's one of your favorite places that you've had an opportunity to travel to and actually compete at, or even just go hang out? Like you were brought there for whatever the reason was for jiu-jitsu and got to hang out and do different things.
Man, I don't have like a certain place that I like it, but I love it to travel like to a place far away, cause you see how big is the world,
Right.
and how jiu-jitsu is almost like a language. Like with jiu-jitsu can connect with anyone.
You don't even have to speak their language, and you
No.
can connect to
You
them.
can like connect to them and start to feeling them through the jiu-jitsu. Like I went to Korea, Japan, Russia, I think Philippines, and get to know the culture. Train jiu-jitsu with them. It's like I feel like you were like way behind the time. You got there, you have jiu-jitsu, they have
Right.
jiu-jitsu,
Right.
and you see they have their own style. Like I don't know. I feel like all the Koreans do X guard. I don't know why that. They're all good on X guard.
Because they're small. A lot of the guys are small,
Man,
right?
they-
There's not
they have
there's not a lot
power.
of big guys that are Koreans. You know what I
They
mean?
all
So
have a good
so
X
X-guard.
guard, man.
I've been
Yeah,
hanging out with Kukui.
yeah.
How's the jiu-jitsu in the Philippines?
Man, it's been growing.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend there. He's always bringing guys over. I think
We
Talos is there right
we have
now.
an affiliate there. There's a Hibero affiliate there too, right?
Yes, the guy has academy all over. They love jiu-jitsu, They
Right.
love it. They practice it every day. They're very into competition. People nowadays, like everywhere, they're very into competition. They do
Competition's
everybody.
everywhere now. Competition's everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. There's competition.
They have their own thing there. The tournaments, and they really like go hard on this. I think it's amazing.
Tough question. What's your favorite taco shop in San Diego?
Taco stand, La Jolla.
He's I got a taco stand in the hood.
I didn't think it was gonna be that quick. Taco stand La Jolla. I've never been there. You know where that's at?
No.
I don't know if they have somewhere else.
Is it a store or is it an actual like a truck?
No, it's a store.
Taco
It's
stand?
kind of
A
tiny.
little tiny
place.
one? Yeah, that's good.
I
Those are the
think
best
it's a
ones.
little bigger than here. Like man, it's good.
I like it.
Really good. And also I like the one South Beach in OB. It's really good. But I think taco stand would be my favorite thing.
Nice.
Tacos, how about the carne asada fries?
Carne asada fries. Man, to be honest, I think I had carne asada fries once in my life. I feel bad when I eat fries.
Oh, okay.
That makes you fat, right?
Yeah. I'm already like big guy, you know.
Who inspires you to keep pushing so hard and keep training, keep doing what you're doing?
I think my mentors, man, Saulo and Xande
100%.
Lovato, that man Lovato, like he's the one like who's still like he's not competing in jiu-jitsu, but literally nowadays before the thing that happened to him now about the carcinoma, like, but he's still like I got to spend with him some time, and the discipline that he has, the work ethic, it's amazing. And
He used to, I remember, this is years ago, but his work ethic hasn't changed. He has a room in his house. And you go in there and you sit down. Have you been to his house?
yes,
Okay. And he has a room in there, and there's DVDs. There's tons of DVDs and video. And it's all jiu-jitsu matches. Hours and hours of jiu-jitsu footage. And he will sit in there and he will study footage of people competing that he might be going up against or whatever the case may be, or he'll find footage on them and he will watch and he will study and he will study and he will figure out how to beat them 100%. And he does it all the time. He's been doing it for years. His work ethic is absolutely phenomenal. It's a lot like his work ethic reminds me of like JT Torres. JT Torres is the same way. Like he is just, they're animals whenever it comes to that. They don't run away from it. They study, and they train.
Where do you see yourself in the next 2 to 3 years?
Get even better, Like, I don't feel like I'm at peak yet. And I am excited, like, to improve in a lot of stuff. Like, every day, I want to dedicate myself more to get better and like, certain aspects in jiu-jitsu, in my career, and in my marketing and everything, So
Right.
I see myself, like, even bigger and, like, in the jiu-jitsu scenario and, like, with, like, performing, like, even more in the competition, if you know what I mean.
Do you get nervous right before you go out?
Yeah, I don't think, like, if you don't get nervous anymore if you're going there, so I probably think we should have been there. You get a little bit nervous, anxious, but not nervous like, oh my god, it's more nervous like, yeah, let's go, let's do it, it's like a good nervous, not like about pressure, but more like excitement, let's do it,
Shawn, you anything?
Actually, I was looking to see, what do you have coming up? Because I don't see you listed on anything. I was looking at that the other day. I was trying to see what you actually had coming up. What are you actually competing in next?
That's the question a lot of people has been doing me. Pan Ams, I'm getting ready for Pan
Makes
Ams.
sense.
And when is that?
I have a long
March.
time,
Mid-March.
yeah, I have like about a month to get ready, and my goal is double gold, it hasn't changed since purple belt.
I like it. Well, I mean, truth be told, like that's the next prestigious title that you need, right? It's
Yes.
that and then Worlds right after that. So yeah, he's on. I mean, as long as you stay on that win streak, you're definitely
Yes.
on point for going.
I'm gonna go to Brazil also, compare Brasileiros.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
When is that? That's in April, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I think it's
end of April, beginning of
end of
May.
April, and then I think it's the very last week of April.
Yes, is it
You
end of April, beginning of May?
you literally come right back and you have Worlds.
Yeah,
Because Worlds is like 2 weeks later or something like that.
yeah. It's actually is on the same time as my birthday,
Nice.
May 1st. So I always go to fight Brasileiro the same day as my birthday, or maybe like for a day before.
Perfect.
Actually,
How old are you going to be?
23.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
One
baby.
day.
I love it.
I remember those times.
It's a long time
A
ago.
long time ago.
Man, because you're old. You're like an old cougar.
How old are you?
Well, how do you think I am?
Man, you look like 32, 35.
I'm 35.
35.
No.
Times A plus 10.
Plus 12. Plus 12. So,
47 now?
there you
Yeah,
go.
huh? All right, man. Well, we appreciate you for coming out. Is there anything else? Why don't you tell everybody where we can find you online?
Yeah, on my Instagram, Victor Hugo JJ. Follow me there. There's where I post
So
everything.
for anybody that wants to get him on a platform to fight and coming up to get a match, you know where to find him, Victor Hugo.
Yeah, Victor Hugo JJ. There's my email if you want to contact for any kind of like fight, seminar, sponsorship. You can contact me through there. And a pleasure to be here, man. Talk a little bit about myself.
Nah, we really appreciate you coming out. You're the best dressed, so we gotta get you on there.
Today
We had to
I
get the
don't have
best
my
dress
best.
anyway.
Yeah, today I don't have my best dress because I just came from
training,
for the gym.
teaching. You're teaching.
I was teaching, yeah.
Right on.
But we're here. Look forward to come back again. Talk about something else. Topics. I like to
Nah,
talk.
we love it.
We'll,
We
we'll,
love
we'll
it.
get you on after you win that double gold.
All right.
Yeah, right after
Deal.
Pans. I like
Deal.
it. You bring us,
That's good.
you bring us a double goal where we talk about that right
Yeah.
after Pans.
Sounds good.
I
Deal.
appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Anything else?
I'm done.
All right. So for this episode and all of our episodes, check us out at FIVEgrappling.com. We appreciate Victor Hugo for coming out today and the Ribeiro Association. With that, we are out of here. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube as well as Spotify, iHeart, Spreaker,
iTunes,
Apple. Yeah,
iTunes,
we're
coming
everywhere
up.
now. So we're good. So
YouTube.
check us out online and FIVEgrappling.com, and we will wrap this up. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Excuse
Bye-bye.
if you don't watch that.
We would like to thank our sponsors, Five Grappling, FIVE365 Media, Five Forward Foundation, Five Superfoods and Shaved Ice Company, Hono BJJ, and the Fuji Mat Company. Without you, we are nothing. For this episode or any of our episodes, check us out at FIVEgrappling.com or follow us on social media at Five Grappling. If you're watching this video on YouTube or listening via podcast, don't forget to click the subscribe button below. Thank you for your support. Five Grappling. Compete, evolve. Real people, real stories, real life. Five brand.